Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. So today we are going to learn the what are the different laying and testing methods of sewer and some types of sewer appurtenances. So under the subject of environmental engineering too. So what is sewer and what are the different types of sewerage system that we have already seen in previous lecture, right? So hope you have cleared the previous lecture doubts. And one more thing, whatever you have some doubts during this lecture, so please first you attend this lecture and at the end of or last 15 minutes you will ask your questions, because sometimes I will clear your doubts at the end of the session. So first you will attend it carefully and attentionally, and then you will ask the question, and your questions is based on today's lecture only, that is based on the topic laying and testing of sewer and types of sewer appurtenances. So shall we start, guys? Ready? Okay. So what is the laying and testing of sewer? So what is sewer? First point is what is sewer? So sewer is just a conduit or pipe which carry the water coming out from the household level and convey this all water to the sewage treatment plant. So it is the conveyance device which convey the sewage that is coming generated through the household level to the sewage treatment plant. So sewerage system is the network of pipe system, right? So sewer is used to convey the sewage to the sewage treatment plant. So what the data we require to laying the sewer pipeline. So first of all we required the map which showing all the roads, cable lines, lanes, etc. is prepared. So because of we are installing this number of sewage pipe, so for that you required the data or map which showing the road network, which showing the different water lines passing underground the road surface, the cable lines and different lines showing in that map. Next is pipeline with the is marked. Then the position of existing pipe, curb line, water line will also be marked. So that initial data you have collected, and then you will go for the design of or laying of that sewer pipeline. So what is mean by laying? So laying should be done. Laying is nothing but the installing the pipe, right? The installment of pipe. So laying is starting from the outfall end to the starting end. That means you all of know the principle that we are using in surveying. What is the principle of surveying? To work from whole to part. That means we are starting our installment point from the outlet end towards the inlet end. So same principle we are applying in this for the laying of sewer pipeline. So we start our work from the outlet end and finished it to the inlet end or starting point. So what is your outlet point and what is your inlet point? Inlet point is at your household level from where you collect the sewage, and outlet point is at the sewage treatment plant. So that are the 2 point locations. Then the next important appurtenances that we are installing along with the sewer line is manholes. So manholes are required to be constructed for the laying of sewer pipeline, because without manhole we cannot be install the sewer pipeline, because the laying is done between the two manholes. So first step is to placing out the manholes, and then in between these two manholes we are laying the sewer pipeline. So pipelines are installing in segmented base. So there are different segment depending on its length. So that segments we are placing between the two manholes. So next important is center line and offset line marking. So how we are laying or installing that pipeline. So there will be some procedure, right? We are not simply excavate the soil and simply install or dig this pipeline into that buried ground. So that is not the correct way. But as you all are civil engineer, you must be follow some procedure for laying the sewer line. So what is that procedure? So first of all, the center line of sewer is marked by drawing an offset line on the ground parallel to the center line at suitable fixed horizontal distance. So all this description we will see in the next slide, which shows the diagrammatic representation of how to place the center line and how to place the offset distance. So first of all, you just try to understand. First of all, your center line is marked which follow the center line of road. So your center line of sewer line is always located below the road surface, right? So all this sewer network is installing below the road surface, and which the center line of the sewer is follow the center line of road surface. So what is next question is what is offset line? So there should be some mark of parallel line, that is offset. The offset distance is approximate 2 to 3 meter from the center line. So the offset distance, how to calculate the offset distance? It should be 0.5 times the trench width. The trench width means whatever the trench you have digged or excavated for installing the sewer pipe, that is the trench width. So 0.5 times its trench width plus the safer distance 0.6 meter, that total distance is offset distance. This offset line should be drawn on that side of trench which is not likely to be disturbed by the pilling of excavated earth. So just you imagine, suppose this is the center line. This is the center line of road. So there are two ends. So I will just trying to show you the plan, the two-dimensional diagram. So suppose my hand shows the center line of sewer. So there are two sides, the right hand side and left hand side. So any one of the side you can put all this excavated soil material, and in other side you will set the offset distance. So one side is for collecting the excavated soil and other end is for setting the offset distance. An offset is used to find the center line by offsetting the fixed distance from the offset line. So temporary benchmark along this offset line at interval of 200 to 300 meters should also be established by carrying the level from GTS benchmark, that is the Great Trigonometric Survey benchmark. So this is the diagrammatic representation of how to center fix the center line. So as we have described in the previous slide, so first the trench width is excavated. Suppose this is the width of trench. Then the center line of sewer line is follow the center line of road surface. So that is the center line of sewer in plan. So the second step is you have to fix the offset distance. So first of all you will dig that trench, and all this excavated material is collected at the one end of this trench. To the other end you will fix the offset distance. So your offset distance, how you are calculating the offset distance? 0.5 times the trench width plus 0.6 meter. So whatever the values comes, that distance you have set, so that offset line is go parallel to this center line, and there are again fixation of this temporary benchmark with the interval of 200 to 300 mm. So that is the offset line. So this is the layout of center line fixation for the sewer line. So next is the excavating trench. So first step is to fix out the center line and offset line. The second step is excavating the trench. How you are excavating the trench? The road pavement may have to be first of all removed. So for excavation, first of all you have to remove the top surface of road, right? The road pavement you have to remove first. Softer pavement, so for excavating that pavement, so for the softer pavement quick access by manual labor should be required, and for the hard concrete pavement the pneumatic drills or spades should be required to remove or to take the excavation. The inner portion is remover either by pickaxes or power shovel, boom or bucket excavator, so that all this excavated soil should be removed and collect through this equipment like power shovel and boom and bucket arrangement excavator, and all this excavated soil you can place it at the one end of this trench. Then the minimum width of trench should be equal to 15 centimeter more than the diameter of sewer. So your trench width is depends on the diameter of sewer. Suppose your diameter is 10 meter, so 10 plus 15. So sorry 100 centimeter, then 100 plus 15. So the total trench width is 115 centimeter. So 15 centimeter is the extra margin at the either end of the trench should be considered while we are find out the trench width. For the smaller diameter of pipe, we are approximately excavate the trench width at 60 to 75 centimeter. So pipes in firm ground, no need for embedding of concrete, and the bottom half portion of trench is excavated as the shape of the pipe. That means for the firm ground there should be not extra care should be taken for its soil settlement, like the provision of batters and provision of side supports of bamboos, etc., as the ground is firm. Pipes in softer or ordinary ground need the embedding of concrete. That means the bottom layer should be placed by the concreting or concrete material for the settlement of soil. A recess is also excavated at required interval for the accommodation of joints and choking at the bottom. So these are some precautions. So this is the cross section of trench width excavation. As you can see, this is the depth of trench. So for that, first of all you have to remove the pavement surface, and then the trench width is depending on the diameter of sewer, right? So suppose this is the diameter of sewer pipeline. So the 15 centimeter extra distance you have provided. So 15 by 2 is 7.5 centimeter is provided at the either side of this diameter of sewer, and the total trench width is equal to the outside diameter of sewer plus 15 centimeter. That way you are calculating the width of trench. So that portion, the sloping bed of concrete, it shows as the embedded concreting. So this is nearly equal to the 15 centimeter from the bottom level of the trench. This is the sewer pipe, and this is the sides of the trenches may be vertical for the smaller depth or the supported inside by the timbering for the larger depth. So suppose that again its depth of trench will depends on what are the other facilities or utilities provided below this ground surface. Suppose there is the water pipeline is also run parallelly, so for that your trench width will be greater. So your sewer line, there should be a minimum distance you have to maintain between the water supply line and the sewerage line. So for that case, in that case your trench depth will be increased. This is the center line of sewer line, and how we are calculating the offset distance. This is the offset line. So offset distance is 0.5 times the trench width plus 60 centimeter. This is the excavated earth soil which are collected at the one end of trench width. So this is the cross section of trench. So next is timbering. What is the purpose of timbering? Why we are providing the timbering? To support the side slope of trench. So if the trench depth is maximum, in that case there will be the possibilities of uh, rolling out of the soil. So settlement is happening in there. So to avoid this, you are supporting this soil by the horizontal and vertical wooden planks in form of timbering. So it is used when the excavation is more than 2-meter depth, and it is used to resist the soil from falling into the trench. So main purpose is to resist the soil from falling into the trench. The sheeting boards or the wooden planks which are placed in actual contact with the trench sides, either horizontally or vertically. The braces are the cross wooden pieces extending from one side of the trench to the other side and may also be called strut. So braces are nothing but the inclined members. So again that are provided for purpose of to resist the soil falling down into the trench. The ranger are the timber planks which transfer the transfer load from the sheeting board to the cross braces by joining the sheeting board together. So that means in the contact of soil and the horizontal and vertical wooden planks, there should be the wooden plank or the rectangular surface of wooden material. So that should transfer your all the loads coming from these braces and vertical and horizontal braces to the soil. So that is the member which should transfer the load, transferring the load from the sheeting board to the cross braces. The softer soil require more elaborate and closer timbering than that of harder soil. In case of extremely soft and waterlogged soil or in places where the timber is not available, the steel sheeting are used. So again it will depends on your locally available material. So this is the again cross section of timbering bracing. So as you can see in this diagram, this is the trench, this is the depth of trench. So these are the horizontal rangers. So in cross section or elevation, it should be shown like this. So these are the horizontal rangers and these are the cross braces of wooden material. So approximate diameter of that cross braces are 10 centimeter and the cross section is of 10 by 10 centimeter. So this is the L section of longitudinal section of this trench, that elevated trench. So as you can see, these are the horizontal ranges and these are the verticals wooden planks. So approximate diameter is 15 centimeter each. So these are provided for supporting the soil to falling down into the trench. So these are the supporting members and braces that cross section braces has provided to transfer the load from the wooden plank to this braces provided, and these are the depth of trench. So in between the two braces there should be a minimum distance of 90 centimeter, and at the top and bottom, at the bottom portion the minimum distance should be maintained approximately 45 centimeter, and at the top level it should be of the 60 centimeter. So this is the overall cross section of timbering. So next important is dewatering. So up till now what steps we have seen? The first is excavating the trench. The second is provision of timbering, and third is dewatering. What is meant by dewatering and why we are dewatering takes place? So dewatering is required if the water table, WT is the water table, if the water table is high or if the sewer happen to be laid very deep. So there are two possibilities. So one possibility is your natural water level is at the high level. So in that case, when your trench width is shallow at shallow depths, then because of the water level is at higher level, whenever you are digging or excavating the soil, that water coming automatically from this ground. So there will be the obstruction for the construction of trenches. That is one possibilities, and second possibilities is whenever you are digging or excavating these trenches at higher depth, so automatically the water table will get distracted or influencing in case of the excavating that trench width. So it's removed by open jointed drain constructed below the sewer trench. So to eliminate that or reduce that problem of water table, higher water table, we are providing the drainage system to drain out that water coming out from the ground, which discharges into the independent water course either by the gravity or by pumping out all this water. It removed by pumping out the water from the sump constructed in the trench. So for that you are constructing the sump, that is sump is nothing but the one rectangular channel constructed for the storage of water. So for that purpose, you are constructing the sump under the trench. So it should be and from through that sump, you will pump out all this water into the outside. So it should be operated for 24 hours if the water keeps on flowing in the trench. So again, the dewatering in sandy soil is very difficult. Soft soil, it will be handleable, but in case of sandy soil, it will create a lots of problems. So dewatering in sandy soil become the enormous because if the water flow in large and the subsoil is sandy, the quicksand caused. So quicksand concept, what is quicksand? Quicksand is nothing but just you can imagine there is the sand placed in the horizontal or a vertical container, and you are placing the water in that, and you are suddenly removing its supports. So what should be happen? All this sand is fall down, right? Because of that water pressure, the downward water pressure, and that mechanism is called as quicksand. So it is done by the well pointing system? No. So number of well points are installed by the water jetting method along the sides of the trench at the suitable interval of 1.5 meter. So all these well points are connected to the common header pipe. Header pipe means main pipe which is connected to the pump. So to reduce this quicksand problem, so we are making such kind of arrangement in case of sandy soil. So in that way we can dewatering is takes place. So as I explained, the sump is provided. This is the drain, the open jointed under drain to collect all this water coming out from the water table. And sometimes we are providing the sump well in that excavated trench, and the collected water is pumped out. So this is the pump. So the collected water is pumped out through this pump and discharged into the natural water course. So next is shaping the trench at the bottom to correct the level. So there should be a firm level at the bottom of the trench, right? Your trench should not be a undulating form. So it should be a some stabilized form. So how we are shaping the trench at the bottom of the correct level? It should be excavated equal to the bottom of the embedding concrete or to the inward level of the sewer. So to maintain the uniform surface at the bottom, we are providing the concrete embedded portion or simply a concrete leveling at the bottom of this trench. The bottommost portion of the trench should be excavated carefully so as not to dug more than required. Two vertical posts are first of all driven along the sides of the trench at the interval of 10 meter at all junction and change the point. A horizontal board spanning the entire width is now fixed on the post by means of the nails is called as side rail. So this all arrangement we are doing for the supporting purpose, supporting the sides of trench. A vertical pencil line is marked on the wooden board and needle is fixed on the line. A string is stretched between the needle and produce a line in space and used to measure the depth of foundation, invert level and embedded concrete. And a boning rod or the ranging rod or the traveler is used to measure the level at the bottom of the trench. So as you can see, this is the needle. So sometimes plumb bob we should place here to maintain the level, cross check the level, and in that way the needle and horizontal plank should be placed by the use of clamp which should be attached to this firm ground, and in that way we can maintaining the level of the trench and the uniform depth we are excavated this trench and go to up to the this bottom portion of the site. So in that way we are uniformly done the excavation of trench. And the last step is laying. So after excavating all this trench, after providing the proper shape or proper shaping of that bottom portion of trench, then last step is to laying the sewer pipeline into that excavated trench. So after the bedding concrete has been laid or done in the required alignment and level, the sewer pipe are lowered down into the trench. So all that sewer pipes are pre-stressed concrete material which are already constructed outside the factory, and we have to pick this sewer pipeline by using the cranes and down to this trench width, excavated trench width. Smaller pipe less than 40 centimeter diameter can be directly handled by the masons or the laborers and their helpers, but the larger pipes can be lowered by passing the ropes around each end of the pipe length. For very large pipe, the machines have to be used because of its heavy weight. The sewer pipe length are usually laid from the lowest point with their sockets end facing upstream so that the spigot end can be easily be joined. After joints are jointed, the jointing is done with the lead choking or cement mortar as required. During the jointing, care should be taken to see that the pipe length remains in the true level and the alignment and do not get the disturbed till the jointing material harden. That means to check the alignment again is the important task while we are laying the sewer pipeline. So this is again the longitudinal section of laying the sewer pipeline. So suppose this is the excavated trench. So first of all, we are placing this needle to check out the alignment. This is the ground surface, and the pipe is laid either by the manually depending on its size and weight or by mechanically into this excavated trench. And then after laying the pipeline, the last work is to its monitoring or testing of sewer. So how we are testing this already laid pipeline? So before going to its actual working, before that we have to test of that sewer. So there are again different testing methods. The first is test for leakage or water test. That means we have to test whether that lead sewer pipeline is leak proof or not. So how we are check this testing of leakage? The sewers are tested to ensure no leakage in their joints. They are tested between manhole to manhole because between two manhole we are placing the one segment of sewer line under the test pressure of 1.5 meter of the waterhead. Lower end is plugged and the water is allowed to flow through the upper end. The depth of water in the manhole is maintained to the testing head of about 1.5 meter. The sewer line is washed by moving along the trench and the joints which leak or sweat are repaired. So when we are found that there will be some leakage, then we are repair this joint by providing some lining material or else we are replacing that pipe segment. And second test for the straightness of alignment or obstructions. So there will be the possibilities of some obstructions in between the pipeline, sewer pipeline and the straight alignment of sewer line. So it is tested by placing the mirror at one end and the lamp at the other end. So if the pipeline is straight, the full circle of light will be observed. So you can just imagine one side is placed, hold the lamp, and at the other side there should be the mirror. If the pipeline is laid in the straight direction, then the complete circle is shown in the mirror. But if alignment is not maintained properly, the complete circle is not seen. So if the pipe is not straight, it would be the apparent and the mirror will also indicate any obstructions in pipe. The obstructions in pipe is tested by inserting a smooth ball of diameter 13 mm less than the internal diameter of sewer at the upper end of the sewer. If no obstruction is there, the ball roll down to the lower end, right? So it is very simple to test the if there are found any obstructions. If there will be some obstructions, then ball will not collected at the lower point. After testing of sewer, then the last procedure is the backfilling. So which while the backfilling the excavated earth that we are collected or stored at the one end of trench bed, that excavated earth it should be the laid equally on the either side of the sewer, and it should filled up in the layer of 15 centimeter thickness. The each layer should be properly watered, tamped and ramped. The earth filling above the crown of the sewer should be carefully carried out. After a few months of exposure, when the top layer gets fully settled, the road pavement may be constructed, and this will prevent the subsidence and cracking. So once all this soil above this trench width will settle down, then only you can construct the road pavement. So okay, so this is all about the laying and testing of pipeline. So I will just check if you have any questions on that. If no questions is there, then we will continue for the next part. STP is sewage treatment plant. Okay, Sagar, you asked that you are in 12th standard, so you have to learn this concept or not. Sagar, you asked that you are in 12th standard, so you have to learn this concept or not. So as per your interest, you can learn it. If you will become a civil engineer, then it will be useful to you. So as per your interest, you can learn it. If you will become a civil engineer, then it will be useful to you. So as per your interest, you can learn it. If you will become a civil engineer, then it will be useful to you. So as per your interest, you can learn it. Okay, fine. So in last 10 to 15 minutes, we will just look over the what are the different sewer apparatuses. So what is mean by sewer apparatuses? The structure which are constructed along with the sewer line at the suitable interval to assist the efficient operations and maintenance of the sewerage system. So there are different types of sewer apparatuses. So first is inlet. So guys, as we have very less time to learn this, so I will just show you the figure and I will explain that, so you will exactly know what are that means. So first sewer apparatuses is inlet. Inlet means which are provided at the curb side or road sides. So as you can see in this figure or layout, these are the inlets. So which are provided at every side of the road, and suppose there is the junction. So all that inlets are connected through the pipes to this manhole. So whatever water, rainwater you are collected from this road surface, you are collecting it into that inlet, and the slope of inlet pipe should be provided such that it should be flow to this manhole by the force of gravity. So the force is gravitational force. So these are the inlets. So there are again two types of inlets, the horizontal inlet and vertical inlet. So as you can see in this diagram, this is the vertical inlet type curb inlet sewer apparatuses. As you can see, this vertical inlet is attached to the curb side. This is the road. So whatever rainwater you can collect it, so slope should be provided towards this inlet. So all that water surface runoff water which collected into this inlet, and all that inlet is collected to the manhole. So as you can see in this cross section, so this water is collected into this vertical inlet, and all this water is then go to this discharge to this manhole. And these are the horizontal inlet. The working mechanism is same. So next is catch basin or catch pits. So catch basins or catch pits are the vertical structure constructed at the site side face of the curbside or roadside surface. So the purpose of providing that catch basin is to obstruct the entry of particles, the floatable and bigger size particle, and which will reduce the chances of blockage of that pipe. So these are basically providing for the purpose of collecting the rainwater without entry of floating material. So that is the purpose of catch basin or catch basin. This is the vertical cross section. Then cleanouts. What are the cleanouts? It is the inclined pipe with its one end connected with the underground sewer line and the other end brought up to the ground level with the proper cover at the top. It is provided at the upper end of the lateral sewer in the place of manholes. They are generally used for cleaning purpose. So as you can see in this diagram, this is the inclined pipe, right? That inclined pipe, we are called it as clean out pipe, and this is attached to this horizontal sewer main pipeline. And what is the purpose of this clean outs? To clean the sewer. So whenever the time of its maintenance and repairs, you can clean this pipe by using the access through this clean out pipe. So either you can there will be the possibility of labors into that clean out pipe, or you can clean this pipe through the CCTV footage. So you know the CCTV. So in that you simply place the CCTV camera inside this clean out pipe and you can inspect this sewer line. Then most important sewer appurtenances is manhole. The manhole is the masonry or RCC chamber constructed at the suitable interval along the sewer diameter. The purpose of inspection, what is the purpose of placing the manhole? For the inspection, testing, cleaning and removal of obstructions from the sewer line. And without manhole, we cannot be placed the sewer pipeline. It also helps in joining the sewer lines or in changing the direction or alignment or both. So these are some size of recommended size for the sewer diameter and the recommended its spacing. So the sewer pipelines are available in the diameter of 0.3 meter, 0.6 meter, 0.9 meter, 1.2 meter, 1.5 meter and greater than that, depending on the flow of the sewage. And depending on its diameter, we should provide the spacing. Smaller the diameter, the spacing between two manholes is small. Larger the diameter, the spacing should be more. So again, there are different types of manholes: the shallow manhole, normal manhole and deep manhole. In shallow manhole, the depth should be provided approximately 0.7 to 0.9 meter. In normal manhole, the depth should be about 1.5 meter its depth, and in deep manhole, the depth should be greater than 1.5 meter. The manhole in which the vertical pipe is used is called as drop manhole. So again, the deep manhole is different and drop manhole is different. In drop manhole, we are placing the vertical pipe. When a branch sewer enters the manhole by the more than 0.5 to 0.6 meter above the main sewer, the sewage is generally not allowed to fall into the manhole. The sewage is brought into the through a downward pipe taken from the branch sewer to the bottom of the manhole. So this is the as you can see in this figure, suppose this is the deep manhole. Deep manhole means its depth is greater than 1.5 meter. So in that case, these are the steps provided for the inspection purpose. So just you can imagine. So this is the inspection arm and this is the vertical pipe. So if the depth of the manhole is too large, in that case you are providing this vertical pipe. So you can divert the flow of sewage through this vertical pipe. So instead of it will be dropped from this, the depth should be reduced. So you can just imagine, suppose one labor is working under this manhole. So suppose we are not providing this vertical pipe, then all the sewage coming out from the household level, it will directly drop into this onto the surface of that labor. So to avoid that concerns, we should provide this vertical pipe and flow the flow of sewage through this vertical pipe so that we can reduce the depth and it should be dropped smoothly into that sewer. So this is the diagrammatic representation of manhole. So as you all of know the manholes. So to protect the manhole, we are providing this cover onto this manhole. So again, there are the different component part of manhole as you can see in this figure, like this the access shaft, this is the working chamber, these are the steps, this is the sewer, and these are the offsets, like these are the different components. So the components are access shaft, working chamber, bottom or invert level, side wall, step or ladder, and top cover and frames. So again, the slide shows the description of each and every component parts. This is the deep manhole. The depth is too large. Then next is the lamp hole. Lamp hole is provided for the purpose of again the inspection. So in lamp hole, as you can see, suppose this is the sewer pipeline, in this is the vertical chamber we have to excavate it. So through this chamber we can put some lamp for the purpose of inspection. That hole is known as lamp hole. And the flushing tanks. So flushing tanks are provided for the flushing purpose. So as you all of know, at our WCs, water closets, we are providing the flushing tanks. Okay, so these are the a few types of sewer apparatuses. So as we have some time restriction, we will stop this lecture here. So if you want to know more about the sewer pipe material and sewer apparatuses and how the ventilation is done under the sewer pipeline, how we are providing the different supplementary apparatuses along with the sewer line. If you want more information, then put your comment into the comment box. I will continue it in next lecture. So okay guys, enjoy. So we will stop this lecture here. So bye all the best.